Yeah, and she's like, WAG. And she's like, what should we call it? And at the time, I was trying to create this thing called the Fans PD, which is the Furry Australian and New Zealand Podcast Directory. And I went to everyone and I was like, hey guys, let's all put podcasts together. People were like, woo! And no one else did. So I ended up making this website and I was like, right. And the only podcast that went out there was ActFur, or ActFur, which is where our now podcast name really came from. Nowadays, since we're, not all the ACTs like acting furry, but that was the origins of the name. And we're like, who can we get on the show who's interesting? And no, this wasn't Can't Get You. And we brought on Kelmaker, who you guys will meet tomorrow night if you have it beforehand. He is actually turning up, later tonight. He's turning up, he's landing now in like an hour. So hopefully he'll get here. Otherwise, we'll be in the middle of the show and be like, welcome to ActFurOnAir. And he'll be like, I've arrived!
He's cutting it close.
He's cutting it close. So he's going to be fashionably late or here on time. I hope he's fashionably late because it'll be funny.
We needed strap pyrotechnics to the door to go up and kick them open.
Lights him on fire.
I'm alive!
Yeah, he spends the entire show on fire.
Hey, ninjas won't get him.
But we did that for a while, and then at the end of season 0.5, which was fraught with the same old crappy mixer, and we bring my computer, we drag it all over to set place, we plug it all in to have the screen right, somehow get a audio loop working in it, and we actually did it, I think, 8 episodes, but we recorded 12. And 3 of them are now dead and destroyed because I went and clicked save, and my computer gave me the finger because the power supply died 3 times. So, and this is where I learned to, when we do the podcast now, we record jibs, which is just us nattering on and I get bloopers out of that. And then there's part 1 and then I save it. Then there's part 2 and then I save it. And I make sure I don't have too much stuff running on any of the power boards because if you lose all your data, it's really annoying to get through.
Are you going to explain backups at this point?
Yes, backups. See this? This little Western Digital thing? Oh, sorry, Seagate. This is a 300 megabyte USB hard drive. And if you're ever doing anything like a podcast or a show that's going to move around a lot, get one of these. This is like the brain and
I'll just say that this is working in any of the data-related industries 101 is you have your standard save point where your data is meant to be, and businesses back up all of their data on their computers each day onto an entirely separate hard drive. And then, every month again onto a grandfather backup. So the first stage is called the father backup, second is called the grandfather backup, which is just a fantastic way to archive things and keep it all secure.
I worked for a while as a click monkey for a bunch of people called Frog Tech, which are actually geologists. And what we had to do is that they bought this really big scanner, which when you're in geology, you get like a sheet of paper, like
Kraden standing up.
that high,
He's got his hand in level with his head.
that wide,
And just walk
and
over
it's
to
about
his
2
desk.
meters by 2 meters, and that is an area that they've scanned about the size of Melbourne. It's a big magnetic rainbow, like seriously, ravers would love this stuff. It's just a bunch of lines and rainbows everywhere. But people can understand this, they can look at it and say, you've got iron there and petrol there, and it just looks like blue bits to me. But our job, because their scanner didn't work, they were like, yes, we got this software, it was really, really, really expensive, this big scanner, and they went bzzz, and it couldn't work out where the lines separated. So what our job was, they hired a bunch of guys to go in there and go click, 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 and trace all these lines. And it was really, really good. Boring. It was boring. It was boring as batshit, and that's where I got into the 2 Cent Show. Oh, what inspired me to do podcasts. Did you guys listen to the 2 Cent Show? Yeah. Or did or have?
Yep.
Any of you guys have? Okay. You guys know of 2 Griffin? Yeah. Sort of. He was here last year. Bob.
You liars.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I was listening to that show so much, going click, 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 because I didn't interact with anybody, and I hated that job because of it. you start talking like your friends? I started talking with an American accent and being really, really angry. I was listening to the 2 Cent Show, and that was the only people I was able to interact with throughout the day. Because I'll just click, lol, click. But they had a backup system, which failed. And we lost a month's worth of work.
You lost a lot of clicks.
Yeah. If you're sitting there for 7 hours a day going click, tracing this map, and you get right near the end, and you're really, really happy. And then you lose it.
You get really, really sad.
You get really sad, except for the fact that I'd once done a birthday picture for a friend, and done the entire picture, and then went Control-S, and Photoshop said, Photoshop has encountered a random error. Like, oh, crap. And lost the picture, and ever since then I've done periodic saves. So I'd actually gotten the files that I've been working on and saved them to the local computer. Yes!
So yeah, there's just some stories and tips on backing.
Yeah, so no matter what you do, you're running like this video, stop that right now and save it. Where is my mouse pointer? For recording your shows is to know a little something about bit and sample rate. This is all digital stuff. So
I really like that picture, by the way. I look really good in it.
yeah, we should get one with all of you in there. That's the sketch that do you guys know Jessamite? He's a pretty cool artist. I was like, he listens to the show, and you know, we will have. We've actually got quite a few listeners now. A couple of them are people of merit, thanks to Carnival, because she's a bitchy good artist. She was just like, yeah, I'm starting this podcast with these other people, and posted on the journal, and then like our listener count went up by like 300. But yeah, Jess and I started listening to the show, and I was like, Jessa, I want to commission you. He's like, see? I'm like, brilliant! I'm going to commission you to do a prize for the listeners. And then we sat down and said, well, we've got a bunch of money from our tax returns. Why don't we commission a bunch of people and give it away as our mid-season prize? And so we ended up commissioning like 3 artists. And Carnival and I also went onto the list. And the only person who ended up not being chosen was Jess and I, who was the one that I really, really wanted. So I'm like, guess what? You can do a picture for our show. So I paid a lot of money and got some really cool.
How much was a lot of money, Kraden?
A lot to me, I know.
That is a lot of money for a picture.
But yeah,
this is what's fascinating. If you are recording anything, it's a letter, it's for a show or anything like that. See this down here? If your computer's crap, this is going to kill it. But there's a thing with MP3 compression, is that if you record something at 9600 down here at project rate, that means that when you play it back, it is going to be as near as true to what you set into it without getting pixelated and garbled as you can get it. And I want to give you guys an example of it here, because when you then run some like compression and noise removal through it and things like that, and then you end up saving it down to MP3, you really notice how tinny people are in recording your original at 96,000 compared to 44.1, which is what the program will normally be set at, because it will pick up all the little nuances in your voices that will get just ripped out of you. Why are we getting messages?
I'm not. Nobody loves me. I'm not getting any messages.
Come to the pool. We'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm doing a podcast. I can't.
Who is it that's shamed them right now?
Your mum.
Oh, Mum, why? I didn't even know she was here.
Yeah, so we slowly got better at talking with each other, and I gotta say, having people in the room so I can stop talking and look over at TinyCat, and he'll do something like smile or talk, is really good. But when you're on Skype, you'll be talking there, and you're like, hey, I got this news story, and then Jen, one of the other hosts, will be going, I'm looking at pictures of puppies. Check out this one, it's a really cute puppy. Yes, please. Back in MiDFur X, we were sitting there, we were talking, and then our voices stopped working, we didn't have enough water. And Finn was like, I am getting you guys jokes of water, and we love him now. So,
I love him. That's only because he gave me a genuine sparring grade sword for my 20th birthday.
Yeah.
And it hangs above my head in case of an invasion.
But We had after the equipment, we thought, stuff it. We've got a bit of money saved up. But this is with the ActFur show. Let's buy a better mixer. So we got this one, which even though it doesn't have the USBs, which would make my job 5,000 times easier, it runs microphones on power. Powered microphones is those really, you know those sort of round ones that look like tubes and they got all the dots in them and they're supposed to be really expensive? They are, because they're Harleroy microphones.
You just described the sonic screwdriver you do really
Yeah,
well.
okay. It's basically some screwdriver that makes you sound awesome. You can imagine.
That's a Dalek telecom.
But yeah, the podcast slowly got better and better equipment and better microphones and things like that. And then Kev was like, I'm going to America. We're like, whoa! He's like, I'm going to build robots. I'm like, oh.
I'm going to build robots.
you guys will meet him later tonight. But if you listen to the show, you might know a couple of stories. But he builds robots. Like,
careful when you're touching me. He's
he's bringing them.
Yes, I
He's
know.
bringing them.
Oh.
Our major prize for this season is a pair of animatronic ears.
Okay.
Wasn't that last year?
No, last year was. Question?
No, I was just going to comment that I'm absolutely shattered.
Run the red one. We got a running mic.
Thanks. I just wanted to comment that I was absolutely shattered that I didn't start listening sooner and get in on that.
You are using the running mic.
No!
Yeah.
You said the...
You said the
look,
red one was
this
the running
cable
one.
goes
I
to
was
there.
using the orange one.
So, there you go.
Okay, have you seen me now?
I don't want to be red line.
You stole my microphone.
Give me the red one, man. Here's the black one.
Anyway, yes, question.
No, I just wanted to comment that I was absolutely shattered that I didn't start listening to the show sooner because I completely missed out on that opportunity to get into that major prize draw.
I am amazed by the dedication. We must entertain you guys a lot. I guess we must do a good job because we have around 700 dedicated listeners to the show, roughly. That's I can't track everybody because I can't track IPs or multiple people listening on and some sharing and downloading and stuff. I can't track all of them. But it's around 700, we're guessing, and we don't advertise. So this is just you guys going, this show was cool, I'm going to go show my friends. and you do, and we
Do that more often.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the better it is because you guys buy our shirts and then we spend lots and lots of money on prizes for you guys. So it is sort of a cyclic thing. So if you spend $30 on a shirt, a year later we'll be spending like 800 grand on buying you a plane with furry things on the end of it. Like, we're giving away a free car and an airplane.
When that gets to be the end of year prize, I'm really not going to be a resident anymore because
You'll be living on the plane.
being on the murder mystery was rewarding in itself, but Jesus shit did I got those ears.
No, that's the thing you get. This is something you guys will hear with Jen. Is Jen's like, we'll come up with a prize. She'll go, but I want it. Like, you can't win it. You're a host, and she's like, screw you guys. I'm off the show. So yeah, we did some commissions. Jeez, what was our major season prize for last year? It was a MiDFur VIP ticket.
That's right,
It
man.
was
Tidal won it.
Tidal won it.
was
Tidal
here.
won it, yeah. Which is, we have these moments where people we've met will win stuff and it just blows our mind because we don't expect people to listen to our show. They just do, and
Kraden enjoy it. Everybody that knows him doesn't
I
like
got
him.
asked for an
He's trying to break-
for an autograph in Woolworths. Dude, a bunch of guys were walking through Woolworths.
You sure you didn't think you looked like someone from Home and Away?
No, because we were walking through Woolworths and they go, it's Kraden! Dude, we're like, holy hell, what? And there's a bunch of people wearing our podcast shirt. And
Holy
they're
crap.
like, can you get your autograph? And we're like, why? I'll write the show. So, yeah, I mean, like, the listeners, you guys are really, really